Imagine sitting in a quiet place, gazing into the eyes of a woman who appears strong and confident, yet something unusual stirs behind those eyes, something like a quiet fire burning behind her composed smile. It is jealousy. A feeling many women do not openly acknowledge, yet it often shapes their decisions and behaviors, sometimes even surprising themselves. Jealousy is not a fleeting emotion, it is a complex psychological system woven with fear of loss, desire for possession, and internal comparisons that can quietly undermine inner peace if left unrecognized. Let me take you on a deep journey into a woman's mind, not to judge, but to understand the hidden world behind her eyes. Understanding jealousy is understanding a core aspect of human nature itself. The more you understand it, the wiser you become, and the more adept you are at navigating emotional and social relationships with awareness and maturity. At the start, it is important to accept that jealousy is entirely natural. It is not exclusive to women but is a deeply human experience. Yet in women, it often carries distinct dimensions. From childhood, society instills in her the idea that her value is linked to her beauty, femininity, and ability to attract and keep a partner. Any threat to this perception awakens waves of jealousy. Jealousy is not inherently evil, it can be a driving force for personal growth and self-improvement. Yet, it can also become a destructive force if left unchecked. Many women feel jealousy toward others who are more beautiful, successful, or socially present, not because of their shortcomings, but because their minds involuntarily compare themselves to others. Consider the story of a successful married woman whose life appears perfect. Yet, each time a new woman enters her husband's environment, whether a colleague or an old friend, she would smile outwardly, feigning indifference, while at night she struggled to sleep. Her mind would weave endless scenarios. What if he likes her? What if she is prettier? What if I am just a phase he will outgrow? This struggle is not caused by betrayal but by a mind that equates personal value with someone else's loyalty. At its core, jealousy reveals a woman's fear of losing her place in the heart of the one she loves. Psychologists explain jealousy as an evolved survival mechanism, shaped over millennia. In ancient times, a woman depended on her partner for protection and resources, so any rival posed a real threat to her life and her children's. This instinct remains embedded in the brain, which does not distinguish between real danger and social threat. It reacts to perceived competition as an existential threat, which explains why a woman's reaction may seem exaggerated, why she may be hurt by seemingly minor gestures such as her partner liking a photo online. Jealousy is not always about love. A woman can feel it even toward those for whom she has no deep affection. It can reflect her desire to be the best, the most beautiful, the most admired. This is the darker side of jealousy, pushing some women into endless comparisons, envy, and even wishing misfortune upon others. Continuous comparison drains energy and transforms external success into perceived threats. The golden rule in understanding jealousy is to look beyond outward behavior and listen to her inner voice. What is she afraid of losing? What does she feel is missing? By understanding this, reassurance can replace argument, and jealousy can transform from an internal battle into an opportunity for growth. A woman who understands the source of her jealousy can use it as fuel for self-improvement rather than allowing it to consume her. Jealousy can also be wielded deliberately, as a tool to test a partner's love or assert emotional control. While this may bring short-term satisfaction, it erodes trust over time. Relationships built on continuous testing turn into psychological battles rather than havens of security. For men, the most effective response is honesty and calm. Do not allow jealousy to become a weapon, nor dismiss it entirely. Provide reassurance through actions, demonstrating that another person's presence does not diminish her value. For women, jealousy is not a flaw but a signal, an internal message highlighting areas of insecurity, fear of abandonment, or unfair self-comparisons. It is essential to confront these feelings with courage, acknowledging them rather than letting them dictate behavior. Jealousy, like fire, can warm or burn, depending on how it is managed. Mature individuals do not cease to feel jealousy, they understand and channel it. It becomes a mirror reflecting deep fears and desires, offering lessons rather than creating conflict. Unchecked, jealousy accumulates like a snowball, erupting unexpectedly and leaving reactions that seem disproportionate. Its danger lies in silent accumulation, where every ignored feeling plants a spark in the heart, creating a field of embers ready to ignite. Jealousy binds a woman to her imagined scenarios rather than reality. She conducts elaborate mental trials where the person threatening her place is always convicted. The brain, when repeatedly exposed to a scenario, treats it as reality, translating fear into genuine emotion and action. Jealousy is a fusion of multiple feelings: fear, anger, sadness, desire to protect, driving different behaviors: crying, anger, withdrawal, silence, or intense investigation. Mismanaged, it leads to destructive acts like monitoring a partner, invading privacy, or creating conflicts, eroding trust even without a real reason. Yet, jealousy can be transformed into a positive force. By recognizing that it is not about others but about self-perception, every moment of jealousy can become a psychological exercise. Why did I feel this? Fear of loss? Feeling inadequate? Comparison? Honest reflection begins to dismantle the complex knot instead of inflating it, requiring courage greater than confronting others. For example, a woman once felt deep jealousy toward her husband's old friend. Instead of acting on it or suppressing it, she reflected and realized her insecurity stemmed from neglecting herself. She had lost some of her previous attractiveness and passion. She converted her jealousy into a plan for personal growth, improving her health, reigniting her love for reading and learning, renewing her social life. Her confidence soared, and jealousy gradually dissipated as her mind no longer felt threatened. Jealousy often signals unmet needs: attention, reassurance, emotional security, or a sense of continued value. Suppression or eruption is less effective than understanding its message. Jealousy extends beyond romantic relationships to friendships. Women often feel envy toward peers' success or attention, even without direct rivalry. The mind equates success with security. Perceived advancement in others triggers a feeling of personal retreat. Wise women learn to see others' success as inspiration, not threat, transforming jealousy into creative energy. Unchecked, comparison traps one in resentment and emotional exhaustion. Some women conceal jealousy skillfully, yet endure silent internal battles, leading to chronic psychological fatigue, suppressed anger, or depression. Healthy, calm expression of jealousy without accusations allows partners to understand and reassure. Men can inadvertently fuel jealousy through seemingly trivial actions with significant emotional impact: public comparison, overt admiration of another woman, or diminishing her value. Awareness of these subtleties stabilizes relationships. In conclusion, jealousy is not the enemy, it is a message demanding care. Ignored, it can destroy; understood, it becomes awareness, actionable steps, and personal growth. Life is not a contest for someone else's heart or admiration, but a race to become the best version of oneself. Every moment of jealousy invites self-reflection, healing fears, restoring confidence, and embracing one's intrinsic worth. Jealousy is dynamic, fluctuating with age, emotional experience, and psychological maturity. A young girl expresses it directly, crying or seeking attention. A mature woman may hide it behind composure, yet fight an internal silent war. Older women may feel it intensely, confronting fears of lost youth, attractiveness, or social status. Understanding this evolution is key to transforming jealousy into conscious, constructive energy. The deeper one goes, the clearer it becomes. Jealousy is a call to inner attention, a mirror of our vulnerabilities, a signal for self-awareness, and a path to growth. Managed wisely, it is not a curse but a profound teacher. We must recognize that jealousy is often closely tied to a woman's sense of self-identity. It is not merely the fear of losing someone, but the fear of losing a certain image of herself, the image of being chosen, the best, the most beautiful, or the most unique presence in her partner's life. Any threat to this image shakes her internally, as if a part of her identity has been lost. Many women who struggle with intense jealousy are, in truth, grappling with an identity crisis or low self-esteem. This realization opens the door to one of the most important steps in healing, rebuilding self-identity on a strong internal foundation, so that one's value springs from within rather than from external validation. Consider a real-life example. A woman in therapy admitted that she felt jealous of every woman who walked past her husband, even when there was no interaction. As the therapist explored the roots of her feelings, it became clear that her childhood was filled with moments when she felt invisible or inadequate to her parents. She carried this wound into her married life, and any minor incident triggered that old sense of insecurity. This shows that jealousy is often less about the present and more about an old wound being reactivated. Transparency between partners becomes crucial. Calm, honest communication allows emotional minds to be diffused before they explode. Imagine a woman calmly expressing to her husband, "I feel afraid when I see attention given to others, not because I distrust you, but because I fear losing my place with you." This simple statement can open a mature dialogue, giving the partner the chance to reassure and provide the security she needs. Suppressed feelings, by contrast, later erupt as anger or accusations, escalating conflict rather than resolving it. A lesser-known truth is that jealousy can become a positive motivator when managed consciously. Healthy jealousy signals to a partner that love and the relationship still matter, strengthening the bond. The fine line between healthy and toxic jealousy must be clearly drawn. Healthy jealousy encourages closeness and care, whereas toxic jealousy leads to suspicion, control, and accusations. Emotional intelligence lies in maintaining balance, avoiding destructive cycles. Practically, a woman can train her mind to handle jealousy. The first step is awareness. Pause at the moment jealousy arises and identify its trigger. The second step is distinguishing fact from assumption, as much jealousy is built on imagined scenarios. Third, redirect energy. Instead of monitoring or comparing, channel that energy into self-development, enhancing appearance, skills, or inner confidence. Fourth, communicate feelings honestly and calmly to create shared solutions and prevent emotional buildup. For men, the intelligent response to a partner's jealousy is not mockery or minimization but wise reassurance. Words and actions must align, as credibility is essential. If jealousy is unreasonable, gentle conversation and healthy boundaries are far more effective than open conflict, which only inflames the situation. Some women find that jealousy rekindles excitement in a relationship, reminding them of their partner's desirability and inspiring reinvestment in the connection. This energy can be positively harnessed for closeness rather than conflict. Ultimately, jealousy is not a sign of weakness, but proof that the heart is alive and caring. Its power lies in direction. Like a river, left unchecked it can flood and destroy, but channeled properly, it nourishes and sustains growth. A deeper perspective reveals that jealousy exposes areas where a woman fears inadequacy, where she perceives herself as less attractive, influential, or valuable. If left unaddressed, these feelings become destructive energy, leading to silent conflicts, exhausting comparisons, or constant testing of a partner. The relationship begins to deteriorate, as constant scrutiny drives away connection. Jealousy is sensed by men even without words, in body language, tone, gaze, and silence. Therefore, a woman must understand herself before seeking reassurance, exploring whether jealousy stems from genuine threat, diminished self-perception, or neglected personal growth. Facing these truths is the first step toward liberation. Strengthening self-confidence and reconstructing one's inner image transforms jealousy into calm, conscious energy. Instead of erupting in anger, a woman communicates fears honestly, turning the relationship from a battlefield into a space of shared growth. This shift is noticeable to men, who respond to calm confidence with closeness rather than withdrawal. The woman who reconciles with her jealousy becomes more attractive, radiating confidence and security without needing to dominate or diminish others. Her presence reignites passion, and her emotional composure becomes a rare strength in a world consumed by comparison and reactivity. The practical transformation begins with quiet observation. Pause, name the emotion, and identify the specific trigger, whether another woman's appearance, someone's success, or attention given to someone else. Naming the feeling reduces its intensity by converting it from a vague threat into an understood phenomenon. Writing down these emotions is the next step, allowing reflection and conscious direction of energy. From a philosophical perspective, jealousy shows that self-acceptance has yet to be achieved. Those who embrace themselves fully are undisturbed by others' success or beauty and can instead draw inspiration from them. If every woman used jealousy as a signal for self-improvement rather than a weapon, countless relationships would survive, families would remain intact, and inner peace would flourish. Confronting jealousy is not easy, as it requires facing deep wounds, old rejection, childhood insecurities, or fear of abandonment. Healing demands courage, honest self-dialogue, and sometimes professional guidance, for untreated jealousy can dominate a woman's life for years. Successfully navigating this journey creates resilience, wisdom, and emotional security, instantly recognized by partners. They sense the difference in calm composure, no longer facing conflict or drama, but an inwardly strong woman. The next phase is transforming jealousy into conscious power. Awareness allows it to serve as a compass, each twinge points to areas needing attention or growth. Change begins with quiet observation, asking what triggered jealousy, appearance, success, attention, and labeling the emotion. The process shifts the mind from reactive threat to mindful understanding, opening the path to self-development, inner growth, and a thriving relationship. Jealousy, properly understood and guided, becomes a force of self-knowledge, growth, and authentic connection. It is not the enemy, but a teacher, revealing where fear meets desire and how conscious effort transforms challenge into empowerment.